I'm Molly Stack. It's Stack, not Statch, for those of you who don't know me. And October, right? October, what the heck, guys? I know you're feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm seeing the comments in the group about it. October has been really weird. And it's hard enough when you're here as a top leader to deal with the struggle of it. And then it's equally hard, if not harder, for team members, especially newer team members, to rise above the discouragement. I've been giving it a lot of thought, and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what I've been feeling, because I actually really understand this, and I especially understand it in October. So a little bit about me. I joined back in August 2015, and I kind of like accelerated really quickly, double promoted, pink to blue in October, the one good thing that October. And then I hit green in February, and I went to my first convention in Chicago as a green status presenter, and I walked the stage, and I knew it, guys. I knew I was going to come back at my next convention as a black status presenter. Now, my grandma is Brianne Kerr, and I had dinner with her at convention that year, and I said, Bri, I'm coming back as black status next year. I know it. And she's like, yes, you've got the passion, you're gonna do it. And she's like, but it might take a little longer, don't get discouraged. I was like, whatever, like brush my shoulder off. Like, I'm totally coming back as black status, right? Because I had the passion and the drive. So I hit orange that November, I think, and I knew it. The plan was made, the game plan was going, I was gonna hit black, and I was going to walk at my next convention as black status. Well, that did not happen. I didn't. I walked the next year as orange. Not a small accomplishment by any means, but not my goal. So I was feeling a little bit of that discouragement, but I was still feeling driven, and I just knew that big things were coming. But it just got slower. All of a sudden, I was looking at my back office, and you guys know, right? You look and you're like, what's happening? Where are my elites? Why is nobody working? Where is the passion that I have? What are these people doing? Why are my numbers so low? And this was going on and on and on until we approached October of 2016. And at that point, I felt like everything was just kind of crashing down around me. I didn't see a future here. I felt maybe I wasn't cut out for this anymore. Maybe I wasn't a good leader. Maybe I couldn't coach people to do what I had started to do. And I actually took a call with another company because I thought, well, maybe I've reached all I can here. And it was after that call that I realized immediately, with like a pain in my heart, that of course this is where I'm supposed to be. The mission is so important to me. The company, my team. How could I ever walk away from all of that? There's something really special here, and you all know that. But what was I going to do? I felt like I was flailing. It was a real struggle. And it was in that moment that I decided that if I was going to accomplish the things I wanted to do, that I needed to get out of my own way. So I took a really good hard look at what I was doing and what I wasn't doing. And that's really hard to turn the finger back on ourselves and say, are you really doing all the things, or are you just doing enough of the things, right? So I started over. I pretended I was a white status presenter in sales and in sponsoring, and I started over. And what happened is when I made that decision and I came to my team and I said, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. What ended up happening that October is we started moving forward. And in February of 2017, we hit purple. And the very next month, in March of 2017, we hit black. So we went from orange at 15 months to purple to black in 5 months with just a change in mindset. And it wasn't me alone. We can't do this by ourselves. It was bringing that collective idea to our teams. And it's especially important in a month like this that we have that good hard talk with ourselves. And I actually was having the down and the dumps all month long. My husband had spinal surgery last month, and that was really hard on me and my family. And thankfully for this business, I was able to take a step back and still have my business work for me. But what happened was it was really hard to get back into the groove after focusing so much on him for those couple weeks. So I was having a struggle bus moment as we came into October, and I really felt the drag. I mean, honestly, guys, we're going to be lucky if we hit orange. We have the company sales, but I don't have the elites right now. And that's a hard pill to swallow. And you know, I know that I feel this way sometimes too. So if you're in my position, if you're a Black status leader, you're here for a reason. You did it. You accomplished things. You're supposed to be here. But if you're one of those Black status presenters who's like me, who's not requalifying Black every month yet, and who sees these phenomenal women doing amazing big things and feeling like you're a failure, you have to erase that right now. And this is when I had my moment. I was in the grocery store yesterday, and I have 4 boys, okay? 4 boys, 8, 6, 4, and 2. Yeah, we eat a lot. They eat a lot, and we're constantly having to go to the grocery store. So I had gone to the grocery store earlier in the week and spent all this money on the food, and then all of a sudden I noticed yesterday there's no food. There's no food again. I'm like, all right. So we drag ourselves to the grocery store, I take the kid, and spend another like what, $150, $200. And I was standing there, and I had this realization that, oh my goodness, we just spent like $400 on groceries in a month. Not even a month, in a week. And it's all going to be gone by the weekend. Ordinarily, 2.5 years ago, that would have caused a lot of anxiety for me, because 2.5 years ago, my husband, who's in law enforcement, he works really hard to provide for us. And I wasn't working. I was home raising the kids. And that stress of having to spend $400 on groceries would have put me in a tailspin. Now, they weren't eating that much 2.5 years ago, but now they are. So when I was in the grocery store, and I felt this way before when I see my cart loaded with groceries, I had this feeling of thank goodness for this business. Thank goodness for that car bonus. Thank goodness for the residual income that I'm making each month.
Is this a rubber band?
It is a rubber band. And I realized that I wasn't being super grateful anymore. Because if I went all the way back to that first October when I hit pink status and I received my very first royalty check, that was $171. And I was so excited about that $171 because I'd been home raising kids. And here I was sitting on the couch, baby on one side, phone in the other, making money, contributing to my family, and feeling really awesome. And I felt fantastic about that. And then here I am all those years later doing so much more, and I'm feeling ungrateful because it's not what I wanted for October. So when I had that kind of aha moment, right, in the grocery store, I went to my team yesterday and I told them this exact story. And I said, instead of finding the negatives about October, you have to dig deep and find your positives. You have to shout out your accomplishments, big or small. And I think sometimes when we get to this level at the top, we forget those small accomplishments. We forget how good it feels to make a sale or to sponsor a new person or to watch that new person reach her first success, for her first sale, book her first party. I really had to shift the mindset and go back to being excited and proud of what I have accomplished this month. And yeah, I was a little like backpacking, like, yeah, well, after last month, that was really hard personally to be able to come back and do X, Y, and Z. So if you bring that back to a leadership position, what can you say to yourself that you've done successfully this month? What have you done that is an accomplishment and that you are proud of? Instead of looking at what the numbers are or looking at what your elites are doing, what have you done? And if you're not proud of what you've done, what can you do to change that now? It's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow. I knew where I was failing. I was not sponsoring, and I'd gotten in my own way and was not talking about the opportunity the way I used to in the beginning when I was so gung-ho. And as soon as I pushed myself through that fear, I did a very scary for me post about my own accomplishments and why I think I'm a good person to lead you through this business. I have 3 women now in a week that are interested in this opportunity, whereas I had none before. And I think we have to take a step back as leaders and remind ourselves that all the personal development is amazing. Learning from each other is amazing, but it really just starts in here and going back to the beginning and finding that joy that we had in the beginning, remembering our why, reevaluating our why, and taking the time to really hone in on that. And once you can get that right with yourself, you can easily translate that to your team. I also told my team, guys, this month is weird. This month is weird, but we know what's coming. November, hallelujah, is coming. So we take what we have done, we take the accomplishments we have done and be proud of them. Use the last week of the month to the best of our abilities. Thank you, corporate, for the 15% off collections. Hallelujah. It's amazing. Take that, run with it, and catapult yourself into November, because we know what is there and we have to show them what is there. So if you've been feeling like me, if you've been feeling discouraged about October, I challenge you to find what you are grateful for in this business and turn around the negativity into that positivity. And it sounds all floopy and mindset-y, but we know that the mindset is a really big thing. And I believe that if we can get right with ourselves, we can show it to our teams, and it will make all the difference. So I hope if you guys have felt like you were struggling, kind of thinking about this a little differently will help you too. And you feel free to message me if you have any questions about how I kind of started over those 2 Octobers ago and really went gung-ho as a brand new presenter. I swear it was fun again, because I kind of lost that joy. And clearly it was profitable because, hey, Flax status. So, okay, thanks for hanging out with me. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.